And then changed it. Part 1, the mirror in the antique shop. It started with an old mirror. I wasn't looking for it. In fact, I didn't even want it. But some things, they find you whether you want them or not. I was wandering through a small antique shop downtown, the kind of place filled with dust-covered trinkets and forgotten history. The kind of place where every item had a story, and some of those stories weren't meant to be told. That's when I saw it. A large, ornate mirror standing against the back wall, its frame covered in intricate carvings that looked almost alive. The glass was strangely clear, too clear. Like it wasn't just reflecting reality, but something else. I should have walked away. But I didn't. Part 2, the first glimpse of the future. I brought the mirror home that evening and placed it in my bedroom, opposite my bed. That was my second mistake. That night, I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. I woke up at 3:12 a.m. Something felt off. The air was heavy, like the pressure had dropped inside the room. I turned my head toward the mirror, expecting to see my reflection. I saw tomorrow instead. It was my room, but not as it was now. The blanket was pushed aside, the window slightly open. My phone was face down on the bedside table, a new message notification glowing on the screen. A message I hadn't received yet. And then I saw myself. In the mirror, my future self was sitting up in bed, staring directly at me. Part 3, the reflection that knew too much. I couldn't breathe. The figure in the mirror, me, but not me, tilted his head, watching. Studying me like I was the reflection, not him. Then, slowly, he raised his hand. He pointed at my nightstand. Confused, I turned my head slightly. My phone screen was still dark, no new notifications. When I looked back at the mirror, the version of me inside it was smiling. And then my phone buzzed. Part 4, the message that shouldn't exist. My heart was hammering in my chest. I grabbed my phone, hesitating before flipping it over. A new message. Unknown number. The text was simple: don't answer the door. A chill ran down my spine. My mouth went dry. I looked back at the mirror, hoping, praying that my reflection would act normal again. But it didn't. Now, my future self wasn't smiling. He was shaking his head. Slowly. Deliberately. A sound broke through the silence. A knock at my apartment door. Part 5, the visitor in the night. I couldn't move. The knock came again, louder this time. More urgent. I turned my head toward the door, every instinct screaming at me to stay still. But another part of me, the rational part, was trying to make sense of it. It was just a coincidence, right? Another knock. Harder. Something wasn't right. I forced myself to stand, my legs unsteady. Slowly, I walked toward the door, placing my hand on the handle, and then, from behind me, my reflection whispered, "Don't." Part 6, the wrong decision. I spun around so fast I nearly lost my balance. My reflection was standing. But I wasn't. It was me, but not me. A twisted version of myself, watching, waiting. His lips moved, but the words didn't match what I was hearing in my head. I didn't want to look away. But the knocking, bang. 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 I reached for the door, heart racing. I opened it. There was no one there. Just an empty hallway, stretching on forever, impossibly long, impossibly dark. Then, slowly, too slowly, I heard something move. A shuffle. A quiet, wet sound, like bare feet dragging across the floor. Something was coming. And my reflection was laughing. Part 7, the future that changed. I slammed the door shut, throwing the deadbolt. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely breathe. I turned back to the mirror and my reflection was gone. Not frozen. Not watching. Just gone. For the first time since I brought it home, the mirror showed nothing but an empty room. And then I understood. It wasn't showing my future anymore. It had changed it. Part 8, The Aftermath. I smashed the mirror the next morning. The glass fractured into 1,000 jagged pieces, my own distorted reflection splintering apart. But as the shards hit the floor, for just a fraction of a second I saw something. A glimpse of the hallway beyond the door. The one that shouldn't have been there. The one that led to whatever had been knocking. And then, just before the last shard hit the ground, I saw something else. A hand. Still inside the mirror. Still reaching for me. And it was smiling.